newest additions in that sort of sense. Key thing to mention as well, by the way, for these two squads, Kios has his own history with the Outsiders side. Used to play with Norbert in the Tier 2 space, so I wonder how that dynamic will affect things, whether there'll be a little bit of internal rivalry in this matchup. Pistol round sees the Glocks and the USPs brought out from both sides. You have the defuse kit on Kicker and utility over on Kios.
It looks like be a set play as well. You can see that Kios early was lining up that utility. Attention gathered in towards mid for the Falcons, trying to make their way over, but now it's Flip's responsibility to hold the line.
Got a Kicker on backup as well. Body block heard of that smoke. Norbert with the opening kill of the matchup. Flip will follow suit, but only good for one of his own right. Kicker struggling to deal with Maka as that trade has come through well enough for the Falcons side. Hadji responds to a 3-on-3 the same. Low HP for him and Jamin. It might force him to back off. Kicker continues facing and costing his life for it. Fame now standing alone up against 3, essentially in a 1v3 scenario. He does land those taps to do some damage, but not quite the kills themselves. He's running out of ammo as well. Look at the left, right, and center, and still they're not taking him down. They're getting real close, and Maka finally overwhelms him.
But that's allowed the time for the rotation to come in on James. He was starting on that A side of the map, and now he's worked his way over for a flank. A lot of these players on the Falcons are low.
Yeah, but he's also low himself, 4 HP for James, and that's the one shot that Kios needs to kick things off with the pistol round.
It was a little bit explosive over towards the heaven position. A lot of gunfights fall in favor of the Falcons. Up close and personal, those Glock 18s do the damage.
Well placed enough for that one, and of course the pressure against that CT side, pushing them back into the back corners, into the back lines, not allowing any breathing room at all for the likes of Fame. Might become a problem if they continue to play at this kind of a pace, I feel. Shouldn't be matched in this case for the Outsiders side. No major force buy here.
Looking to set the tempo early are the Falcons. Norbert and Kicker ready Supreme here. It's a stack over towards the A bomb site as Falcons make their way up the ramp.
Wasting no time with this push forward of the CT forces, and Kios gets quite the amount of money out of this. The USPs are doing their work, but only those 2 casualties. The rifle should stay in, and that should be a simple cleanup. Well, simple-ish cleanup, but 2-0 start nonetheless. Yeah,
it was only 2 players that actually fell victim to the pistols of the Outsiders, which means the rebuys aren't quite that costly overall. It's a nice start here for the Falcons. We talked about them setting the tempo. They really just want to take the fight to the Outsiders.
That's the key thing, right? Playing their own game, playing their own pace, especially on their own map pick. 2-0. I'm looking to turn towards 3 as Outsiders get their first rifle round. No expense spared. M4s across the board. Lacking in util a little bit and lacking in the speed department. The Flip's going to shut it down regardless. Post up the roadblock in the mid control. Only good for the 2 frags. The trade back for Maka still maintains the advantage for the Outsiders, and now Fame can chime in, but still only also good for 1. Norbert's forced to trade it back on the B site and shut down the very fast pace that the Falcons want to bring to the table.
It's absolute chaos. This round is over almost before it begun. 30 seconds is all it takes for the Outsiders to dispatch of the Falcons. A little bit of a bonus round. The SMGs just trying to take the fight straight in towards middle, but Flip, he's good for the multi-kill and he holds that one down.
Yeah, very nicely played for the Outsiders on their start up now with their first round. And again, able to deal with that aggression, able to deal with that fast pace so effectively on their own CT side. You see a lot more of that as time rolls on. Get back into the thick of it with the follow-up, the buy-up from the Falcons. Not quite as effective as it could have looked like otherwise here. They have lost quite an amount of cash. The Tech 9s and Deagles will be out for a half-life basis. The CTs will face them, but they'll lose their advantage. Kios and Maka with the 2-for-1. Now Flip's in trouble.
Trying to make their way up towards the A ramp. They'd love a bomb plant here, the Falcons, but Flip, he's rotated over towards short. Could be flashed in by Norbert, but might not even be needed.
And Maka just backed up, seeing quick spray from Flip. The burst fire doesn't connect much here. Norbert waiting at the edge of the girder, finally sees Kyojin. Moves that bomb for the time being. Actually drops it pretty deep into the side. That might be the difference maker here in the CT side. Yeah, Flip with his kill back, doubling up. USP pulled out against the Tech 9. Might lose to the likes of Hadji, but there's still 2 other CTs around to try to get the trades together. Indeed, it will be an expensive round for the Outsiders, but a round for the Outsiders nonetheless.
It's really interesting how much pace Falcons are looking to throw at this at the early stages. It's a key competition. I think once Outsiders, they've got all the weaponry, they've got the utility to really hold the Falcons back. That's something they can't really rely on. The Falcons, they need to settle into this one early. They can't allow too many rounds to already be converted.
Well, standing up at evens, Outsiders will not allow Falcons to turn that pistol into something disastrous. CTs and an SMG out for Jane being the limiting factor of this one, and generally the money itself is limited for the CTs. Same can be said for Falcons, but they got lost bonus to play from, so a good victory here for the Frenchmen. Might be enough to turn the tide back in their favour. Playing around the defaults as a result. Behind the smokes and Molotovs.
Defense utility being put down early. Kyojin pokes his head up towards the B stairs, but meanwhile all the action is unfolding over towards A. Haji could walk into this MP9.
And Kills with the opening duel, flipped there with a trade. Jane ready for the up-close peeks. He ended up falling back instead, a bit more passive in his own right. T-side have their backs turned towards Flip, but now Incendiary's come down. He's forced to use that smoke. Now they have the info. Knowing he hasn't crossed, Python will not move until he makes a move.
Boxed in, supportive utility, trying to enable Flit's escape, and he will manage to do so. That's quite important, but Haji, all the meanwhile, he's taken the space, but Norbert finds the kill.
Yeah, advantage once again for the outsiders for it. AK picked up and applied to perfection. 46 seconds. And the Falcons slow this one right down.
There's no utility really on either side, so it's going to be more of a contact play. 35 seconds. Falcons, they need to find their final destination. Right now it appears to be A, and that's where most of the outsiders reside.
Yeah, Flit and Fame got to pick their moments with the use of those smokes. One of them does get used right there. Might actually been passed off to another player. Yeah, James trying to take the mantle of it and use it eventually to try and suppress that ramp control. Not going to be in time. Python have already made their way forward into the hands of Flit, who makes it a double to leave it all on Kyojin for the clutch. 12 seconds to get that bomb down. It is on his back. He's looking for Norbert desperately, but just not going to win that fight at all. The numbers game too much to handle there as outsiders take the lead.
That's consecutive multi-kills as well from Flit. Really making sure to stamp his authority down on the Falcons towards A. It's kind of what we alluded to. The utility was just too strong, and Falcons, it felt like that they, at the expense of the outsiders' utility, the clock was wearing a little bit too thin. It felt a little bit more panicked as they made their way into the bomb site. The rotations, they were just there, and outsiders convert the round.
And they convert their weapons as well. A lot of AKs for the CTs to play with. Falcons are working from loss bonus, but no bomb plant bonus means there's no buy in for round 6. The Eagles are back, already looking to take contact in their initial positions. The Molotov sent down range into ramp control. Kyojin will try to lead the charge up at stairs, seeing no contact yet.
But found gaps in towards middle, have the Falcons. So maybe trying to reassess, peeking in. There's 2 players here to contest the control. Fame, he's going to be put on notice towards the stairs soon.
It's Norbert put out of the round to start though. Keel's forced to get traded. Python turns his Deagle into a pick himself. Playing the trade back to a 3-on-3 and makes it 2 now. It's Kyojin and Python are shot down, and Fame makes it a triple, even on for the quarter perhaps. Deagle missing of Haji, last man standing, now will draw the attention of the rest of the CT players here. Bomb trying to commit, trying to get back up to this B site. Fame is now one of his only 2 concerns here. Kicker's now back to the back of the site. They'll have their bases locked out from here. The shots might connect some damage, but certainly no kills and certainly no steal round.
That's all you want from your B anchor. It looks like Fame, he is electing to be taking up that position for the outsiders. Really nice just hold from him, and he even transitions over, gets the information that there's so much action going down in towards middle. Whilst the Deagles are converting some of the kills, he locks that one in. He makes it a lot less expensive than it potentially could have been.
A moment to discuss here for the Falcons side. Their first tactical take-in this matchup. Appropriate to do so for my money. Outsiders may have lost the first 2 rounds, but when the guns brought out, they were just all over them, not giving any breathing room for the Falcons. They've got to try and force that back out and get back into this game.
So battle lines have been drawn early, especially over towards mid and that A ramp. For the outsiders, it's just a game of making it consecutive. They string too many rounds in a row. The pressure might just be too much for this Falcons side. You kind of look towards Maka. He's been performing incredibly well so far in this tournament. And as the Falcons make their way towards ramp, they need to find an entry.
So far, none have come their way. Kicker at M4 is watching the gap in the smoke. Slight or pixel angle to work with there for the CT player. Counter smokes in from the CT side, try to drive even further back. That Molotov becomes irrelevant now to the Falcons. They're a real player that can get the trade or get the kill on Jane.
Resetting their attention. Working their way in towards the mid. Outsiders got 3 players here, but there's going to be a quick move away. Falcons, they slow things down here in round number 7.
Yeah, happy to play that slow style that we've been seeing over the course of the last few days. If it works, it works. And so far they haven't conceded a man advantage for that. As soon as I say that, the charge forward comes in. And Norbert and Flip can deal with it. As can Fame, Flip with a double. And everyone falls down for the Falcons. Kyojin once again left out in the clutch. And now you have to try and find some sort of way to burst into these fights without losing so much, because that's really the big stumbling point for the Falcons here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that they are attempting these mid to B splits. It makes sense for them to apply heavy pressure in towards that mid position because they have been finding the kills on those outsiders players. But with Kyojin isolated on his own towards the B stairs, it just feels like he's a little bit late to the party. He's left isolated in a number of these rounds, and outsiders are just capitalizing upon it.
They've got to work in a little bit more cleanup. It's 5 in a row for the outsiders side. Quick plays in from the Tech-9s once again. The half-fight will ensue for them, but Fame's already knocked out Kios. Haji try and lead the charge back, lead the rest of his teammates in. The second man, of course, into that bomb site. Flick's still dealing with his backup, though. A triple lined up, making it look so easy here.
Yeah, really good job from one of the, I guess, he's now been promoted to the core of this outsiders lineup. Flit, whilst he hasn't been in the roster too long, he's a dependable pair of hands that you can always rely on. Has got experience playing in teams for a very long period of time, and he just locks that one in. He just makes sure that Falcons don't have an opportunity to plant the bomb. Kios, he's providing the openings right now for the Falcons. He's 4-1 in opening engagement, and that needs to just keep coming forward.
Need to put this forward with the guns especially here. Once again, rifles are out for Falcons, and unlike that last round, which was a mow down that you can expect, this one has got to be a bit more solid. The Frenchmen need a decent round to shut down this streak for the outsiders, which is really getting out of control here. The early nades will do their damage, and the AWP will strike first.
Yeah, notably, the AWP has entered the server for both of these teams in this round. Maka looking to reply back, but instead it will be Kicker over towards short, eliminating Kios and doubling up as well.
Maka with one responsive, but it's come in too little too late. Even a nade to the face tags him down to half HP. The 4-on-2, the outsiders should be able to take. Falcons grab that bomb at least. Maka just continues to work inland. There is an AWP close towards him that will be hunting for that frag. I set up against it. There's that slow walk in from him and co. Back turn though, perfect time for James, leaving it all on Kyojin in yet another clutch that he will not win. That's 7 in a row for the outsiders CT side.
Nice dynamic approach from James. Starts off at the sandbags, rotates all the way over towards short, completely blindsides Maka. And the Falcons, it was an explosive start. They really wanted to take the fight towards outsiders, and now they're just kind of falling apart. It looks almost a little bit one-dimensional at times. When they can't really find an avenue in towards A, they try mid. It's an old reliable for them, but unfortunately it's not providing the goods.
And the second tactical called in by the Falcons here. They're getting desperate now. Down by a margin of 5 rounds. Outsiders streak continues to grow. The money is in the gutter for the Falcons. They can half buy again, but they're just going to keep getting into this cycle of half buy eco, half buy, or half buy, full buy, half buy, full buy rather, because they're losing these rounds to the outsiders and not even getting bomb plants for it. The money just not flowing through for them.
No, and you take a look at what's been a consistent factor for the Falcons, what has really been their crux almost, and it's been Maka on the AWP. He's only been able to have it once, and he's traded out his teammates. It's great, but it's not too much impact overall. Taking things a little bit faster. We've seen this flavor already. Nade's going to chunk down in, and Haji nearly burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, they want to get this round over and done with. Just take these pistols straight to the heads. Try see if you can get some decent headshots against the outsiders. And get towards the guns in the next round. Maybe you get some kills. Maybe you get a bomb plant. Maybe you steal the round. That's not the focus, however, for the Falcons side.
Look at Fame as well. He's already pushed so far in. This is an off angle that Falcons surely are just not expecting. Python potentially about to be his latest victim as he peeks on out. Only good for one, though. The Tech-9 trade is in. Rifle to be recovered.
And keeps it an even man standing, and only having Norbert to deal with. The Incendiary restored for extra backup. He struggles with that spray, but James at least finds the trade. 3-on-3. His flip comes up, makes it 2, and doesn't get away with any more than that. Kyojin continuing to hold dominion, but with that AWP pick, with the AK kill, the bomb's been dropped deep into the sights. The Falcons are now left to try and fight back for control. As Kios drops, it's Kyojin once again left in yet another clutch in this round, and yet again he will concede as the last casualty of the T side, as the outsiders will win the half.
So unfortunate that the bomb just carried forward the momentum, because the Falcons, they made good inroads into that B site. Very nicely timed Molotov. Whilst it does split the defense, it also... Sorry, the offense coming onto that B bomb site. What it also does, it allows the outsiders' rotations to come in quickly. Unfortunately, that bomb where it was so far removed, James could just scope on it, and there was really no way back in. It was a nice look for the Falcons. It felt like there might have been a possibility that they could recover. The question now is, can they even recover the half?
Best they can do is 7 rounds here, and that requires every single one in a row. Keels at least strikes first. He's had enough. Kick out will drop, and the AWP of James will lean in towards that side alley angle. Try to find another angle to work with on the AWP's part. Norbert's playing double duty back at Elevator, peeking in towards mid alongside Fame, who's playing double duty on the B side. Yeah,
new kids on the block, establishing this crossfire in towards middle, but it's an absolute massacre. Python and Haji, they both find kills, and now Kios, he's working his way up the ramp. And
there's Jane with a frag back onto Haji, dropping that bomb. At least stalling for a bit of extra time. Should get recovered and committed towards that B site, though. They've swarmed it. They even have one player in Maka hunting for the exit frags onto Norbert and Jame already. Might lose his life by making the noise, trying to bait the player in. Yeah, his back's been turned. And it feels like that they want to go for this retake here on the outside. It's down by a player. That might not be advisable.
They definitely can, though. They've got the finances to supplement it. They can definitely rebuy here. Heavy utility damage raining on in. Norbert and Jame.
Oh. Flash forward, now Norbert to peek, he gets ahead of it, back turn towards one player, Python drops. Surely not, boys, surely not. Norbert, one-on-one against Keels, and the sprays come in for the full-on quadra. And just when you thought the Falcons were finally going to get a foothold in this match, it's shut down.
They've been knocked off the perch of the B-bomb site. James Flashbang does everything. Completely anti-flash, blindsides the player close generator, isolates the gunfight over towards default, and Falcons fall at the final hurdle. It's been a long time coming. They get a bomb plant on the site, and you start to think that there could be a road to recovery, but Norbert strips it all away from them.
Oh, that's tragic. 9 in a row. At least they got a bomb plant this time. And a bit of a mercy tactical from the outsiders, you feel like. Yeah, they lost a lot of players in that one, but surely that round should have been over from the word go. Cash amount still great, still rocking the 9-round streak. Falcons are the one that need the tacticals here. They need the moment to think. And they need you to take it back to formula, I feel like. Things are just not looking good.
I mean, Keels could have purchased the AWP for Maka, but then the issue you've got is there's no utility really behind it. They need to have this utility to be able to execute on towards the bomb sites, or even extinguish some of the really advanced Molotovs that outsiders are throwing at them. It feels like they might be out of ideas right now.
It can't be. They need to find a new playbook. They need to find a new strat. Utility sent down with the smokes and flashes again, working inland here towards this ramp default. Suppressed by the util, suppressed by the vision.
Kick it. Just on the edge of the smoke. He is being supported by Flit as he will re-smoke. I'm not quite sure they're aware that Falcons are so far pushed up, but those Molotovs, it's a rain of fire. It forces the Falcons back, and now Kick It can extend in, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Well, Flit's looking to try and make it 2-for-1 for the outsider side. They're wary of Maka's potential push-up, and just can't deal with it. Python there to assist, and now Norbert and Fame once again in the 2vx scenario, 2v4 this time, trying to bring it back to 2v2. Instead, moves to a 1v3. Fame alone, up against them all, takes the first, sees Kyojin's pixel, and is aware of the shots coming in towards sandbags. With 2 players defined and HP numbers differential, it finally means the Falcons can break the streak, get that third on the board.
Much better trade spacing over towards ramp for the Falcons, and Norbert and Fame, they've played plenty of clutch situations together on K23, but it feels like with so many rounds that the outsiders have just won in a row, a little bit premature on the swing for Norbert. It cost him his life, and ultimately it gets Falcons the round.
A good third, but now the good follow-up. That's the next focus for the Falcons, because of course the outsiders can buy here. They can probably buy another good round, even though the money's been a little bit limited this time. Still could look at drop weapons, save a couple of AK, especially if they hold on to any rifles in the post round itself. Kicker up close and personal, the boost up for Hadji, not even being known. Keel's got tagged though, and Kicker can recognize that as the smoke clear. He finds that first kill, tries to get out of dodge, takes some damage, but he escapes with his life, and Flip finds a kill through the smoke.
He's just doing everything right now for Outsiders. 18 to 10. It's a new wave from that position, but James, he now needs to hold the line because aggression is taking shape up short.
Incendiary is held as unawares of how close Python is. He's scoped in now and turns on the shot to the man. So once again, the Outsiders have the advantage. Falcons looking to press it, and Kyojin will be that first man forward as Maka's orb tries to play Overwatch as the smoke down to the site. That might provide a bit of cover.
Maka needs to just carve open an opportunity for Falcons to worm their way onto this bomb site, peeking on in at the sandbags, but no Outsiders players are revealing themselves.
Kyojin walking forward. Bomb up close. Looking for the safer plant. James, will he go for the wall bangs? Will he try for these kills? Still watching side alley, I believe. I don't know if he's scoped in. Kyojin, oh, boosting up. This could get real interesting. Got to watch elevator, but the back's turned. The AWP has no idea what's about to hit him. Perfect tap. Got to get that bomb down. The flank's in. Kyojin deals with it, but doesn't get Fame. Just a little step further back. Maybe that could have been their round. You
see what Outsiders were doing as well. They did not want to give Falcons any peeks. They were just waiting for that rotation to come in on towards the ramp. Really nice inventive idea, boosting Kyojin up, putting him in that elevated position to deal with the AWPer. But unfortunately, it's a stab in the back that ends the dreams.
10 to 3. The Outsiders just not letting up against Falcons here, and it's starting to get very concerning given the late stage of the half that we're in. They need to find a counterplay soon. I mean, I've been saying that for most of the entire half, if I'm being honest,
yeah.
TV-Dog, and it's just not been coming through. James again with the orb, lands on Hadji. Teammates swarming the mid-control, the same. Fame's counter kill. Kyojin's been tagged to 60, now tagged to 2, maybe down to 0 in a short few moments' time. That nade closes out a 5-on-2 for the Outsiders, and they're just not doing anything of any worth here.
Outsiders know what the game is at this point. They see Falcons head towards middle and they completely collapse upon it. They swarm that area of the map and it just makes Falcons so uncomfortable. They can't pull any grenades out in front of them. They can't get settled. They can't move a muscle. And Outsiders look so dominant here on Vertigo.
I wasn't expecting this. I understand it's the CT side, so there is that little caveat point to throw in there, but even a 12-3 is such a ridiculous, 11-4 for that matter, is still a ridiculous deficit. And the Falcons would have to be on the comeback basically from round 1. A pistol will need to go well for them. It have to be a valuable pistol at that. Boost up for Keo, shut down by Norba, ex-teammates against each other. And in this case, it's the Outsiders man that wins out that fight. Has allowed the player to sneak past, but Maka's dropped all the same, so it's dealt with 5-on-3.
Even players just hiding in the sandbags. Falcons, they've got to clear all of these angles. James extending, and now Flick can just rise from behind. Outsiders, they will take 12 rounds in the first half of Vertigo. But before we swap on over to the second half, we've got Heku on the sidelines.
Falcons had a 100% win rate on Vertigo, but in all of those games they start on the city side. In their series against Outsiders, they start on T side, and we can see that they are having some difficulties, but there is still hope for a comeback. Let's make sure to check it out after the break.
The Outsiders prove that they want to make their way outside of the EPL conference and not via the elimination. They want to go straight to the Pro League itself, and they're right on track to do that. 12-3 at the half. Flit has been leading the charge here, mate. And it's great to see him being the star, but he's got backup dancers, and everything is just looking so on point here for the CIS squad.
It just feels like they can do no wrong. I mean, you highlight Flit. He has 172 ADR in the first half of play of this series, and typically, you look to a player like him, when he was first brought into the roster, they said, okay, it's a very good upgrade on Sanji. He's going to add more firepower, but they didn't expect him to be kind of this level. You talk about Buster as well. And Fame, he's a very good improvement too. Pistol round is taking shape. Falcons, they stack over towards A.
As the majority of T-side forces are set in towards B, downstairs at the bottom of the stairs themselves will not be initially proving forward towards that B site. Slow and careful, waiting for a mistake to come through for the Falcons here.
Kyojin, he's got a very difficult task ahead of him. He is in support, but as this utility rains on down, it could be a very tricky site hold. Outsiders are about to make their move.
Oh, Fame with the perfect headshot, and Kyojin reduces that opening frag. Python now suppressed behind the smokes put out there initially. Will try and hold back a little bit closer. Might be able to get the kills on Kicker and Fame as they have been tagged up as their cross. The bomb, however, will get planted without issue. There's the headshot. Python finally striking on 2. Needs to land onto Kicker, but he can't make it happen. A 3-on-3 instead. Kicker held on top of the bomb. Sees one man peeking forward. That's Haji with the frag back. And Flit and Norbert being suppressed and being taken down. Finally, a bit of luck, a bit of vision, a bit of life left in the Falcons.
Perhaps. That's both pistols, quite notably, that the Falcons have won on this map. However, as we've seen, it might not tell the full story. Consistency is what they need. Typically, I address this and say, okay, pistols is a good thing to lay down the foundation. The thing that have been struggling for the Falcons right now is this consistency. They need to just shake off these first half jitters, and they really need to start playing their own game.
This is the start of the way back into the matchup, if there is a way back in for the Falcons. As I said before, the pistol, and then from then on out, needs to be perfect. The Outsiders, of course, forced buying. They got that bomb plant in that pistol round, so there's Galils across 4 players. A nade, part of a decent amount of utility that lands directly onto Kyo's face. 43 HP to start without seeing a single T.
Outsiders even have more utility in comparison to the Falcons. Norbert just holding for any aggression that might take place in towards middle. Falcons, they're just playing a lot more reserve. They're waiting for Outsiders to come to them. They're trying to rely on their crossfires.
Slow. Careful. Considerate from the Outsiders, this slow style of T-side that we've seen time and time again from them. Some people might not be fans of it, but it's gotten them as far as they have so far. I'll just wait. Continue to hold with less than a minute on the clock. Kios will try prod forward, get something out of this here. Edge of the sandbag, sees one, gets James, gets the hell out of dodge as well.
You can bait in Haji as well. Where's this Molotov going to be placed? There's only one. Instead, Kios, he's reverting back in towards the site. Maka is here in support. They're not going to clear Haji.
And he's going to go for the swing, get 2 kills for it. Fit and Norbert down. Maka also swings to get a double of his own right and remove all elements from play. The Outsiders force buy didn't work out, and I didn't see any incendiaries getting thrown out of that sandbags, mate. Not great for the Outsiders. Falcons reducing them to the pistol eco.
3 players strong for the Falcons. They're just trying to take the attention away. Each gunfight changes the direction of the Outsiders' crosshair, and it allows multi-kills to come through. It's a lovely response. But will it be enough to buy? It's still not amazing for the Falcons. They've got an MP9 and a FAMAS.
Still better than what the Outsiders have to bring to the table, especially with that MP9 that can get a lot of cash out of the anti-eco frags as Keel's the first man in and the first casualty to find. How do you just trade back, look for the double, turn back in towards Flit, but losing his life. So 2 kills with $1,200, that's pretty decent for the cash amount. A 3-on-3, however, could still be winnable for the Outsiders because now they have guns.
Yeah, they've scavenged off the Falcons' bodies. Flit trying to use the one-way against them. Aggression is actually the play for the Falcons, but Flit, you can't give him these individual gunfights. Kyojin will eventually trade out, and now Maka will swing on towards short.
Yeah, recover that M4 on the part of the FAMAS. Kyojin now has the big weapon with him. James working his way back around towards that B site. Nothing really to play with. Incendiary's held back. He tries to go for the big old long flank. I think the bombs with the CT side and everything, so there's not really much here in this round for Jame.
And where they've pushed so far down the ramp, they have a pretty good idea that he is on this long flank, even though it was quite quick. Going to work his way in towards the bomb site now, but it's already being held by Kyojin.
He's going to land the headshot for it. Another good round for the Falcons, keeping it all held together. All coming up Millhouse now for the Frenchman, but that was an expensive round at the same time there. The Outsiders have at least a little bit of successful takeaway from that, especially if they get this next round. That will shut the economy right down.
And you consider the investment that they had going into that one is literally just the pistols. Then now with all the tricks, all the trinkets, AWP even for Jame, it will be contested. Maka has one of his own quite notably as we see the battle potentially start to take place.
I do feel like 8 kills for Jame has not really reflected his skill level so far in this matchup. He's been hitting some very impactful kills. So watch out for that AWP. Same thing can be said for the CT side, out for Maka the same. And the M4s across all others. So no expense spared again. All rifles all day.
The slay mode, slow default from the Outsiders. Trying to work their way in. Maka peeking through the pixel gap, and that's going to allow safe passage for Hadji to get a little bit close down towards the ramp.
Yeah, providing overwatch for him, backed up by the utility of Keel's the same. Hearing no damage to that nade, hearing no body blocks. We know that they're not close, but they are sitting around that area because utility has come in. It's forced those CTs back. The shot rings out from Maka, and the M4 can try and get a kill, but Kicker says no. Gets the opener for the Outsiders. Maka's burnt at 52.
But more importantly, he actually does get out. As soon as I was saying that, though, he was thinking about the re-aggress. Outsiders, they set their attention back towards B.
The Falcons withdraw their attention and send themselves both towards the A stack. The Outsiders may even just force the save call here. The money's not great for the Falcons. Rotations will be coming in quick for Kyojin. They're towards mid, seeing nothing at all. They've all made their way in from stairs. And you can just see that their heart's not in it here for the CTs. They're going to back off and save the weapons. The worst timing on that stack call there, B-Dog.
Yeah, a little bit shaky from the Falcons, although they're getting these rounds in a row. Hadji losing his life really far advanced down towards that ramp position. It might send the communication a little bit haywire, and Outsiders, they will capitalize upon it. It's free real estate on the B site, and they will get 13. They're 3 rounds away from breaking this Falcons 100% win rate on this map.
You have to mention that, of course, the Falcons went to this one for good reason. But even though it's 100% win rate in the last 3 months, there's only 3 maps actually being played here. Everyone tries to avoid it against them. Getting those victories in the French Nationals, of course, with LDLC. Beating squads like it's static especially as well, right? Like, it's still a pretty respectable set of squads. It's why it's so shocking to see the Outsiders get this much of a scoreline above the Falcons side. Even though they are on the comeback now, that could all get brought to a grinding halt. Like you mentioned, 3 rounds to go before Outsiders take map 1. The Falcons have their gun by, but this would be their last before map point.
You're completely right. But Python, new shade, aggression in towards middle. Meanwhile, the forces of the Falcons do their usual dance, aggressing over these smokes. Python, he's found a gap. He could flank them so quickly here.
But Norbert may have found him the same. Did he see? I think he might have done. Oh, so close. He's backed up looking in towards the mid-main angle. And they've avoided each other entirely. That ladder room could be everything to the CT side.
Where's it going to end up? What is he going to decide to do? In fact, he's going to just hold in towards middle. It's stalemate. Battle lines have been drawn. Python, that's an important kill.
Very important indeed. Mid now taken entirely by the CT side. If they push down towards the bottom of the stairs, they might figure out what's going on now. Hell, even a push towards ramp might get the information, but Fame has 2 kills. A tap onto the head of Maka especially brings back the advantage for the Outsiders, and now they go for the hit. Python with the spray. Sees 2, gets very little damage for it. Fame is tagged to half HP though, and Python has driven them back.
He's going to live forever. Outsiders are going to rotate all the way back towards the A ramp. We know how excited Falcons are with these rotations. Look at it. They're stacked over towards this B site.
Man advantage for the Outsiders. Working their way up towards ramp. Molotov set in for Kicker. Time is so low. We've got to make the move in. Molotov to sandbags, nobody's there, and now the CTs know what's happening, but they're so passive. it'll be retake or save, and I think it's going to have to be save here. It started off so well for the Falcons and everything.
They just don't have the utility or the bank balance to really go for this. If they go for this retake and then they concede 14, more importantly, losing all the rifles, they can't buy in. Whilst they do have the kits, they've only got one smoke, and for the outsiders, it's honestly quite comfortable. They put the pressure over towards B. They've realized the tendencies of the Falcons to rotate all the way over, and they've just capitalized upon it. But this time it's role reversal. It's on the A site where they find the success.
The outsiders reduce their win margin to 2 rounds. 14-6. And just when Falcons were really getting going, right? Just when they really found their rhythm, they found their foothold in this series, in this map up, in their own map pick. That solid foundation is turned to jelly. We might be looking at the end of this map up right here, B-Dog. I'm not certain the Falcons have much left in it. Again, they've saved their guns. Again, they'll build back to a buy. That's what it's all going to be about here. But it's just, there's just something missing on this French side. There's something that they haven't quite got down pat that's really going to give them a chance to win out on this one. I think a tactical pause was just called because coaches are talking once again. What do they have to do? What do they have to do?
It's interesting. You're seeing the tendencies from the Falcons on both CT and T. They're really keen to take this aggression. This was a wonderful opening. Python, he finds the gap in towards ladder. They're very keen to take these fights, but against a higher caliber opponent such as outsiders, it could potentially be a costly mistake, especially given James' style of calling, waiting out. They're purposefully just not giving any ground. They don't want to take the map control early. They want Falcons to make the mistakes. That's exactly what's happening.
Quick swings in. Again, the CTs will try to challenge this ramp control behind the smokes, gap in them. But not extending far enough to really hunt for those kills. Not really extending far enough to get those kills. CTs do have one player aggressive over towards the B stairs. That's Kyojin. Fame can get this kill. That will find the early way in again for the outsiders. But if Kyojin gets it, it takes away the B presence from the T side.
He's playing so well as well, Fame. 17 kills. Resmoke will come in. Kyojin, he now has a safe reposition available. I'm not sure he's aware that Fame is lurking. All the meanwhile, 3 players of the Falcons, they've got good ground and information over towards A.
Kyojin just trying to find an angle. As Maka finds the opening pick. Wallbang headshot onto James. The Viort battle won. But now the M4 VAKs. Did Norbert see him? Yes, he did. Kill still found. Fame makes his noise and gets the trade. An advantage still held by the Falcons. And Python's here to defend. But a quick kill start coming forward. Kick out and Flit found it. Python dives in, gets Fame. Back to a 2-on-2. And Maka gets driven back the same. But now there's a mid lurking from Flit. He's going to attack the A site from 2 angles.
It's a complete pincer, and as Maka gets flashed off, A-Ramp is going to push him back in towards the site. And it's right into the trap. Flit, he can just bide his time, and he could go for the quick headshot. Maybe thought about the knife, but would rather secure the round. Python, they know where he is. He jumped in down towards the B stairs, and now he's been thrown into the clutch.
A 1-on-2 that you can't afford to concede. They don't have cash to really buy back. If they had a few rifles, then I could see why. But the Falcons should need to stop map point against the outsiders. He's going back into spawn. I think he is going to go for the save. I don't like that call. I really don't like that call. It's map point. Falcons down by 9 rounds with 1 more to go for the outsiders to take the French map pick. This has really fallen apart for them.
It really has. And I agree with what you're saying. It's a 1 versus 2. It's the best opportunity to prevent outsiders from achieving that map point. And also, if you take a look at the bank, when we go back into the game, this buy accommodating the supporting cast behind this M4 is going to be pretty lackluster overall.
Yeah, it gives you a couple extra options by saving that M4, but nothing that will really look amazing here. God, what a start for Maka and everything. When you got that kill and then the secondary kill came back over towards the B site, the 4-on-3, you felt like Falcons were finally going to get going. But now you can see what they've got to work with to try and fend off outsiders taking this map. 2 M4s with 2 for Masters and a Deagle. Maka ready against Norbert, still gets picked up anyway.
And that's a change. Outsiders actually with the first pick of the round. And a second as well. Fame extends onto Python, and this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah, with those 2 M4s being taken down, that's all the firepower removed from the Falcons. I don't see much of a way back into this one, Brandon. Hadji try to look towards the edge of the smoke, hope to see anything at all, but he's getting wall banged by the AWP of Jame, giving away his position. So now they'll know that they did some tag damage there, because there's no reason why he'd fire like that. They're in full control. They're just in full control.
It just feels like they can do no wrong. The Falcons, there was a case for them. Appeared in some international tournaments recently, more notably at Dubai. They're even playing with a stand-in, so we kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt. But outside of, they are a different beast. They're working their way up towards A. At the very least, Falcons, they've got all of their forces here.
There's been damage done to at least one member of the T side, but as Norbert starts to lurk out towards the B side, pushing in, they'll know what's going on. The kill for Kicker is still found at Ali, Kyojin and Kyo starting to work their way up. Kyojin especially, Kyo's just holding back for Flit, who could still find all the picks he needs to get his 27th end off the map up indeed. There's 26, and there it is, 16-6. Decimation on another level for the Outsiders. Falcons picking in to this Vertigo and still conceding it heavily, B-Dog. That is very contrary to what me and you thought about this series. Very clearly, Alan and Paladin were onto something with that 2-0, because that looks more than likely now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're the analysts and we're the casters. But look, still hoping for that resurgence of the Falcons. Will we see it on Outsiders' map pick? We're going to have to wait a little